I spent most of my, from 14 to 25 in jail.
Yeah, I do know that.
I spent like a ton of time. At 16, I was charged as an adult.
What did you do?
I just say it was a heinous crime, admittedly. It was horrible. We robbed a couple of guys for some weed.
When people think of Jelly Roll, the country rap star with a rough edge and a heart of gold, they often picture the tattoos, the raspy voice, and the outlaw energy that made him one of the most unique artists in modern music. But behind the fame and fire is a love story that has captured millions, and at the center of it is his wife, Bunny Zoe. Known for her bold style, sharp humor, and radiant confidence, Bunny has built her own empire as a podcast host and influencer. Fans love her glamorous look, the hair, the lashes, the full makeup. But what most people don't realize is that underneath all that glitz, Bunny is just as stunning, maybe even more so. Recently, a series of candid makeup-free photos of Bunny Zoe surfaced online, and the internet went wild. The reaction wasn't about shock, it was admiration. Without a drop of makeup, she looked natural, soft, and effortlessly beautiful. People couldn't stop commenting on how fresh-faced and real she appeared, a rare sight in a world of filters and edits. But what truly turned heads wasn't just her appearance. It was the way Jelly Roll looked at her, with the same adoration and respect. No matter what she wore or how she looked, as one fan commented, "She's beautiful inside and out, and the way Jelly loves her just proves it." In a world obsessed with perfection, Bunny Zoe's natural look has become something far more powerful, a reminder that authenticity is the most beautiful thing of all. When Bunny Zoe decided to appear online without a trace of makeup, she didn't plan to make headlines. It wasn't part of a photo shoot or a brand campaign. It was just a quiet, spontaneous moment. A short video she filmed while relaxing at home with her husband, Jelly Roll. But within hours, it became one of the most talked-about posts of the week. Fans who were used to seeing Bunny's glamorous side, the flawless eyeliner, the long lashes, and her perfectly styled blonde hair, were stunned. On this particular day, she appeared in a cozy hoodie, her hair tied up, her face completely bare. And yet, instead of shock or criticism, something unexpected happened. People were amazed. "She's actually more beautiful without makeup," one fan wrote. "You can see her real smile, her real glow." The comments poured in by the thousands. For many, it was refreshing to see someone so open in an industry that often demands constant perfection. Others praised her for being authentic and vulnerable. "Bunny just proved you don't need filters or foundation to shine," another follower posted. What struck fans even more was Jelly Roll's reaction. In the background of the clip, he could be seen looking at her with the same love and pride as always, maybe even more. Later, in an interview, Jelly Roll said something that melted hearts everywhere. "She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen, makeup or no makeup. The world sees her as this bold, fierce woman, but I get to see her soft side. That's my favorite version of her." That moment summed up their entire relationship. Both Jelly and Bunny have built their success on being unapologetically real, sharing their struggles, their pasts, and their growth with fans. Before they became one of country music's favorite couples, both had lived through pain, mistakes, and reinvention. That vulnerability became part of their power. In Bunny's case, her decision to show her natural face wasn't just about beauty, it was about freedom. In a follow-up video, she said, "For years I hid behind makeup because I thought I had to. I thought people wouldn't like me if they saw the real me. But I've learned that real is what connects people, not perfection." That honesty resonated deeply. Her fans began posting their own makeup-free photos, tagging her and thanking her for starting a trend that celebrated authenticity over appearance. Some even called it the Bunny effect. The timing couldn't have been more fitting. Jelly Roll's own rise to fame was built on honesty. His music tells raw, emotional stories about pain, healing, and redemption. Together, the couple has become a symbol of real love in an often artificial world. When asked how he felt seeing his wife's natural beauty go viral, Jelly laughed and said, "She's always been like that to me. The internet's just catching up. The love between them is what fans find most inspiring. They're not afraid to be messy, emotional, or imperfect, and that's exactly what makes them relatable." So when people saw Bunny So without makeup, what really captured their attention wasn't just her face, it was her courage. In a time when most influencers hide behind filters, Bunny chose honesty. And that honesty made her more radiant than ever. As one comment perfectly put it, she's proof that beauty isn't what you put on. It's what shines through when you take it all off. Before the fame, before the red carpets and platinum records, Jelly Roll and Bunny So were just two souls trying to find their way through the chaos of life. Their story didn't begin in a glamorous Hollywood setting. It started in a dimly lit bar in Las Vegas, where Jelly Roll was performing one of his early shows. Bunny, already making a name for herself as a podcast host and model, was in the audience that night. But it wasn't the music or the stage presence that caught her attention. It was the way he felt every lyric he sang. Later, when they met backstage, there was an instant spark. Not the kind born from fame or looks, but from recognition. Two people who'd both lived hard lives, made mistakes, and learned to rise again. Jelly once described that first encounter as meeting someone who looked at my scars and didn't flinch. She saw the man behind them. Their relationship developed fast, but it wasn't always easy. Jelly Roll was still working through his past, battling self-doubt and fighting to build a career that was far from guaranteed. Bunny, on the other hand, had her own share of struggles and insecurities. But where others might have walked away, she stayed. She believed in him when few did. In interviews, Jelly Roll has said that Bunny helped him see himself as more than just a product of his mistakes. She loved me when I had nothing. Not fame, not money, not stability. She looked at me and saw potential. That kind of unconditional love became the foundation of their bond. And that's why, years later, when Bunny showed the world her makeup-free face, it carried more meaning than anyone realized. To Jelly Roll, her confidence was a reflection of everything they had built together. Honesty, growth, and acceptance. He once told fans during a concert, "My wife taught me that love means being proud of every version of yourself, the broken, the healed, and everything in between." The couple has faced criticism, too. Some people judge Bunny for her past or her bold, outspoken personality. But rather than let it tear her down, she turns it into strength. On her podcast, Dumb Blonde, she often talks about owning your story, no matter what people say. "You don't have to fit into anyone's idea of perfect," she once said. "Your story, your flaws, your pain, that's your power." That raw honesty resonates with both her and Jelly Roll's audiences. They've become known as the realest couple in entertainment. Not because they're flawless, but because they never pretend to be. And when Jelly Roll talks about Bunny, it's clear she's more than just his wife. She's his anchor. "She keeps me grounded," he said in one interview. "In a world where everyone's chasing attention, she reminds me what really matters: home, love, and truth." It's no wonder fans look up to them. They're living proof that love can heal, that beauty is deeper than appearance, and that vulnerability can be a source of strength. So, when fans saw Bunny Zo's natural face and said she looked radiant, they were seeing more than just her skin. They were seeing a woman who had survived, evolved, and embraced every part of herself, and a husband who never stopped reminding her how extraordinary she is. As one fan beautifully commented under their photo, "They're not perfect and they're real. And that's what makes them perfect together." Before she became a household name and the beloved wife of Jelly Roll, Bunny So had a story filled with challenges that could have broken anyone else. Growing up wasn't easy for her. She faced instability, heartbreak, and the harsh realities of having to grow up too soon. For many years, she felt like an outsider in her own life, constantly searching for belonging and purpose. But what makes Bunny's story remarkable is that she never allowed her past to define her. She used it as fuel to build something extraordinary. Long before fame, Bunny worked countless jobs just to make ends meet. She admitted in interviews that she didn't have a traditional career path. Instead, she built one herself. Through sheer willpower, she turned her experiences into a voice of empowerment. When people told her she wasn't good enough or the type to succeed, she decided to prove them wrong, not through anger, but through authenticity. Her podcast, Dumb Blonde, became her platform to rewrite her story. What began as a fun, open conversation space soon grew into a movement of empowerment. Bunny invited guests from all walks of life, musicians, influencers, survivors, and everyday people, to share their real, unfiltered stories. Her approach was raw, vulnerable, and often hilarious, but always real. Fans loved it because she didn't sugarcoat anything. "I started Dumb Blonde because people always underestimated me," she once said. "They saw the hair, the makeup, the attitude, and assumed they knew me. But I wanted to show women that you can be beautiful, bold, and smart all at once." As her podcast exploded in popularity, Bunny began using her platform to inspire others. She became an advocate for women who had been judged, overlooked, or told they couldn't change. She shared her journey from surviving toxic relationships to finding real love with Jelly Roll, and from being insecure about her looks to embracing her natural self. Her viral, makeup-free moment perfectly reflected that growth. It wasn't just about showing her face, it was about showing her truth. For Bunny, it symbolized years of self-discovery and healing. "I used to think I had to wear a mask to be accepted," she said. "Now I realize the people who truly love me, my husband, my fans, my friends, they love me because I took the mask off." Meanwhile, Jelly Roll stood proudly by her side through it all. While he's known for his emotional honesty in music, he often says that Bunny's courage inspires him more than anything. During one concert, he told fans, "My wife is the strongest person I know. She's proof that your past doesn't define you. Your choices do. Together, they've become one of entertainment's most down-to-earth power couples. They support each other's dreams, share laughter and loss openly, and constantly remind fans that real love means accepting every flaw." What's most inspiring about Bunny So's journey is that she didn't climb to the top by trying to fit in. She did it by standing out. Her brand is built not on perfection, but on truth. She's a living reminder that it's okay to evolve, to stumble, and to start again. Fans often say that what makes her beautiful isn't her style or her looks, it's her spirit. She radiates a kind of strength that comes only from surviving the storm and choosing to shine anyway. Or, as one fan perfectly commented under her post, "Bunny isn't just Jelly Roll's wife. She's proof that you can rebuild yourself into the person you were always meant to be." Today, Jelly Roll and Bunny Zo are not just a celebrity couple. They're a symbol of redemption, authenticity, and unwavering love. In an industry filled with picture-perfect relationships that crumble behind closed doors, these two have done something rare. They've built their empire on truth. And that honesty is exactly why people can't get enough of them. When Jelly Roll performs on stage, his music bleeds vulnerability. Songs about pain, loss, and second chances resonate deeply with fans because they come from real experience. Standing backstage or cheering from the front row, Bunny is always there, not as an accessory, but as his anchor. She's seen the dark chapters of his story, and instead of running, she chose to help him write new ones. Jelly Roll has often said that Bunny was the first person to truly believe in him, even when he didn't believe in himself. Long before the Grammy nominations, long before the sold-out tours, she was there helping him stay focused, helping him heal. He said, "Bunny gave me a reason to be better. She saw light in me when all I saw was darkness." That same honesty and devotion is what has made their relationship such an inspiration online. On social media, they don't hide their ups and downs, and they share them. Fans see the laughter, the tears, the silly moments, and the raw ones. When Bunny posts videos of them singing in the car or laughing at home, it's not about showing off. It's about showing real life. And when she appeared without makeup, fans realized something powerful. Her confidence didn't come from beauty products or fame. It came from love, self-acceptance, and growth. The way Jelly Roll looked at her in those moments said everything. He didn't see Bunny the influencer. He saw his best friend, his partner, the woman who stood beside him through it all. The couple often talks about how they balance fame with authenticity. Bunny once said on her podcast, "We promised each other from the start No matter how big things get, we'll never fake who we are. People fall in love with the real you, not the polished version. That realness has become the foundation of their brand and their legacy. Together, they've used their platforms to support mental health awareness, addiction recovery, and second chances. Jelly Roll's music gives hope to people who've been through pain, while Bunny's message empowers those who feel like they're not enough. In a recent interview, Jelly summed up their journey perfectly. We've both been through the fire. The only difference is, we decided to walk through it together. Their love story reminds people that true beauty isn't about what you look like. It's about what you give. It's about how you lift others when they're down and how you keep showing up, even when life gets messy. And that's why when fans say, "Bunny looks even more beautiful without makeup," they're talking about something much deeper. They're seeing a woman who has faced her demons and come out stronger, standing next to a man who never stopped believing in her. As one fan perfectly wrote under their viral post, they're proof that real love doesn't make you perfect. It makes you real. And that's what makes them unforgettable. So while the world keeps chasing polished perfection, Jelly Roll and Bunny Zoe continue to do what they've always done best. Stay true, stay honest, and remind everyone watching that love and authenticity will always outshine everything else.